Hello, and thank you for joining us for the first time in 2026. We are the Tech Disciples. I am DJ Shawn Alexander. To my right is my man, Stephen D. Holder.
Oh.
And behind the mic, the ones and twos, the soundboard, he is the legendary, the man who needs no introduction, DJ Terminator X.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Gentlemen, it's great to see y'all.
Yeah, man, new year, 2026. You guys have a good holiday and
Absolutely.
whatever else that was happening
Yes.
since our last episode. A lot has happened with me. We'll discuss an Ali Encore section. I think you'll like it. But I'm ready for this year, man. We're already halfway through February. We're shooting this in February right now.
Yeah, halfway through February. And the weather is starting to reflect, that spring is on the horizon.
Not those last 2 weeks, it wasn't.
Not last 2 weeks, but today.
Today's not so bad.
Today's not so bad.
Today's not so bad. But yeah, no, very excited about 2026 here at Tech Disciples and everybody else out there. So Shawn, what's our topic this time?
Oh man, sound test versus mic check.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and one of the things, since we're all part of the media ministry here at Southside Church of Christ, make sure you come join us. 800 Elmira Avenue, service every Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Yes, we would love for you to join us. And for our members, hey, thanks for checking us out. Our family, our Southside family.
That's right, man. That's right.
For real. So, this is something that it's interesting because we're a cappella.
Right, yeah.
So we don't really deal with instruments.
Right.
But we still have these issues. So, Steve, from a technical standpoint, why don't you make a clear distinction between a sound test versus a mic check?
Well, I don't mind doing that, but I also want to kind of set some expectations, right? We're not trying to call nobody out.
Okay.
Because we're gonna have people behind the board, and we're gonna have vocalists at the mic. We just kind of want to show people what's happening, and want people to stop taking it personally, right? A lot of people take things personally, and it's probably just a failure in communication when it comes to sound check versus mic check. So we're not picking sides here on Tech Disciples. We're just kind of pulling back the curtain, letting people see kind of what's going on. So we're not debating who's right, who's wrong. It's really just education, right? Nobody's getting fired after this episode. So I guess the first thing is really just kind of putting ourselves in that position, right? We've all been there where the sound guy says, the musician, the person singing says, can I get more in the mic, more gain or whatever? And the sound guy is behind the board, says, you already got it. He's like, no, I need more. And then we run into these problems. I'm sure you being in radio and obviously Terminator and his industry and what he does with the music, there's always a constant conflict between these two teams for the same going to the same goal, right?
And one of the things that I experience is there's a difference between the monitors that the musicians, the singers hear versus the overall house sound. So, they're hearing something from the monitors, but that may not be a reflection of how the entire house is hearing it.
So I think that's how the war starts every Sunday.
Exactly.
Every Sunday it starts like this. Because if you're singing up on stage and you don't think nobody can hear you, you probably think that, well, nobody can hear me. But behind the soundboard, they can hear you just fine.
Exactly.
When it goes out to the stream, they can hear you just fine. But if you can't hear yourself, which is monitors, right? I mean, where does that put you in? Like, where does that put you? Like, if you're not feeling good about what you're singing because you can't hear yourself, even if everything behind the board is right, how do we bridge that gap?
That's a tough one. And another thing too is, if we have the monitors up too loud, they feed back into the microphone.
Okay. Oh, that's the
Yeah,
all that
exactly.
feedback stuff.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, okay, we want you to be able to hear so you know how you sound, but at the same time, nobody wants feedback.
No, it's like that's the nails on a chalkboard. Type of
Oh,
thing.
absolutely.
Terminator, you have something? I see you trying to. No. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, if the monitors aren't set right, then that's going to be kind of an issue, right? And there's also an emotional connection to the sound
Yes.
that I think. And I'm not a singer by any means or a musician. I'm not any of that. But your voice is your voice. Like, it's emotional. It's a piece of you. And
That's your instrument.
that's your instrument, perfect. But if it's not being played right or tuned right, or if you can't hear it, then you might feel a little maybe at a disadvantage or something when it comes to singing.
I think Erykah Badu said it best.
What did she say?
I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my.
I'm sensitive about my bleep.
Oh, that's what she said. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I know who she is, but I don't. Yeah. She's great. Wonderful. All right. Well, then, yeah, I think that's something to talk about. So when it comes, also, you were talking about this a little bit, Shawn. Stage energy, is the stage energy the same as house clarity? So I guess, in other words, if you're on stage singing, if that isn't as clear as it is in the audience, is that the same thing, or are they different things? Like, where does that maybe break down?
That is a great question.
These are all great questions. This is why we're having this show.
And the cool thing about it is, we have, you, Steve, to really who you were instrumental in putting our sound system together. So you know a lot about how it's, how it should be properly operated.
So I think I know how it's supposed to be connected, and I know how it's supposed to technologically work. But when it comes to, I guess, harmony or rhythm, when it comes to those aspects, even though it's using that technology, like, I don't have the answer to that. I mean, it's no different than, there's a lot of people who repair pianos don't necessarily play piano. So there's like a lot of, like, you may know how to do something, but when you put your heart and your feeling and your soul into using that instrument or whatever it is, I don't know if it's a two-way street, is what I'm trying to say. So I may know how to set it all up, but you still need people to operate it.
So are we talking about on the stage versus in the sanctuary?
I think, yeah.
So one thing is, I would say, when you're on stage, you don't hear what, especially if it's a larger venue, what the audience hears is far different from what you hear.
Yeah.
So in a situation like you talked about, somebody being on stage and I can't hear myself, so you really, what you're talking about, you really need to turn the monitor up, but then that's a can of worms. That can be sometimes a can of worms, but for instance, at Southside, the monitors are like way to the sides.
Yeah.
You know, so that could be that might be a situation where we need to move them a little bit closer. You know what I mean? It's the kind of thing we have to basically do a monitor check.
So my question is a monitor check on the singer's side or the engineer side?
Well,
Or is it
engineer,
both?
then it's a both.
Yeah.
You need somebody to test them, talking to the mic, and then turn it up to where they're comfortable
Okay.
hearing themselves. But then again, but if you're walking around the mic, you got to make sure you walk the entire stage to make sure it doesn't feedback no matter where you go.
See.
So that's
Exactly.
So
So,
if you turn it up in the middle of the service, for instance, and they're in the middle, and they're in the center, and then they walk to the side, and they start to go, "Wee!" Then you create a whole new problem.
Terminator, in my opinion, hit the nail on the head. And that is when you're, if we have the monitors closer, and okay, everything is set up for the singer to center stage, front center stage. What about when they go to the far right end of the stage? What about
Right.
when they go to the far left end of the stage? If
Right.
everything is set up for center stage, and we have the monitors in a good place, in a close place for them, boom, what's going to happen when they move from center stage? Because we've seen situations where singers will walk from one end of the stage to the other end of the stage, or come out on the floor.
And it also may be that we need to add more monitors on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
So we have two in the corners. Maybe we need two towards the center as well.
Yeah, and have them turned down low though.
Yeah, well,
so they don't feed back.
So they don't feedback, of course.
But if they're too low, the person can't hear themselves singing.
Yeah, like I said,
that's why you do a sound check, and hopefully you can EQ the
sound check.
Then that way, hopefully you can EQ out the feedback. A lot of times you can EQ the feedback out. You figure out what frequency is feeding back, and dial it back.
And the other thing about a sound check is you're gonna have a different sound when the sanctuary is empty versus when it's full of people.
Yeah.
Bodies absorb wattage of sound.
You know what? Mario McKinnon told me that when I went to one of his courses. And I had no idea that was even a thing.
Yeah, bodies absorb wattage of sound.
Yeah, because I got a lot of complaints when it snowed and the sanctuary was mostly empty. Like, the sound sounds crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'd like that, the frequency. So is it possible, and again, I'm not a music person, but is it possible that people are hearing frequencies that other people don't hear, and the sound engineer is responsible for mixing all of them? I mean, does that even make sense?
Well, in our situation, it really, it kind of doesn't apply to us because we're a cappella.
Okay.
But yes, you're absolutely right when you're talking about a church that has live instruments.
Okay.
When you have a different when you have instrumentation.
Okay.
Those are totally different dynamics there.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is still good for, I think, anybody to tune in and get some education and knowledge. Another thing I want to point out is in these churches, right, a lot of times you are restricted by the geometry of the space itself, where you cannot necessarily, I know we're talking about adding monitors here on the fly, but when it comes down to it, do you start cluttering up your stage with monitors? Do you suspend them from the ceiling? And I don't have the answer. I'm just giving, examples of, in this monitor example, how can that help? And I mean, the audience too. I mean,
another thing too, when we talk about position of speakers, position of monitors, you hear all the time, speed of sound, speed of sound. It takes time for sound to travel. So you don't want to have a delay. Like, okay, the monitors are back so far that when I say something, there is a fraction of a second delay. You want to have it, have it close. You have it close, but you don't want to feedback. It's tough. And one of the things, Norm, that I do, you tell me what you do, but a lot of times when I DJ, I'm straight corded mic. I don't mess with my cordless. I have several cordless mics, but I don't mess with them.
Is there so I was under the impression whenever you want, like, I guess like a bass line, you would want to have a corded mic. Is that true, or does it matter?
I don't think
does it depend on the...
Yeah, I don't think so. I just have less feedback issues with the corded mic.
Okay.
My cordless is sensitive. I can get closer to a speaker with my corded mic than I can with my cordless before it feeds back.
That's interesting. It could be the design of the mic as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Because different mics have different patterns, capture patterns.
Ooh,
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
That's
yeah. All
crazy,
right,
man.
okay.
Look at that, different capture patterns.
Capture patterns.
I guess, so another thing is, like, okay, what about, like, when a sound engineer, like, mixes all of the mics? Like, say there's, like, 8 mics out there. And then a sound check's done. They mix the mics. Everything's good. And then it's go time. And then for whatever reason, on stage, all the people, like, pivot, and they start swapping mics.
Oh!
Where does that fall into? What category does that? Wait. The question is that a sound test, as in the sound engineer behind the board, or is that a mic check, the people performing?
The big question that I want to know is why in the world are we switching microphones?
Because the people on stage probably think that they don't have enough volume or whatever it is that they're missing. So they say, oh, this one's better. Give me this, you take this. I mean, you see it happen all the time. People swapping mics.
Okay, well, here's what I've experienced.
Okay.
I've experienced the mic swapping when people didn't make it to sound check.
Oh.
That's a great point.
For real, That's what I run into. Okay, you didn't come to sound check. You think it doesn't sound good. Oh, well, give me your mic. That sounds better. Now, if you came to sound check, we probably wouldn't have this
That's a good
problem.
point. Doing a sound check before service is probably a great idea, which is something that we don't do.
Well, I mean, we do it occasion.
We checked if the mics are working, but we don't do
Yeah,
it.
we should make sure they have batteries. Make sure they have fresh batteries. But
Okay.
Because
But
really,
yeah.
the sound check a lot of the time is about the person, the people performing, or whatever you want to call it, singing, speaking. They're the ones, like we can do a sound check, but when they're on stage, they need to feel comfortable, I guess. So that's why they need to be able to do a sound check, so they can feel comfortable. Like I can hear myself, or I can't hear myself,
Okay. All right. Well,
and do that stage monitor mix.
Well, yeah, this is definitely out of my realm. Again, I know how to get things, connect them together, hook it up to the computer so people can have iPads and walk around and do their job more effectively. But when it comes to seriously, when it comes
Well,
to...
no, but I'm gonna tell you, I got a funny story about that iPad.
You do have a funny story about that?
Yeah,
Is it funny? I want to
thought it
laugh.
was
I want to laugh.
hilarious. Okay.
We'll be all right.
All right. Yesterday, I was on graphics.
Okay.
I'm usually on the soundboard. Yesterday, I was on graphics. We didn't have anybody. We actually had someone jump in on the soundboard, and Norm knows where I'm going with this. Okay. Norm had the iPad to control the soundboard, but he was in the room across the way where, we don't have windows or anything like that, so we can't see one another. All right, so...
Is that funny? That's funny?
Yeah, so, okay. So he doesn't know, unbeknownst to, Terminator, somebody's in there pressing... The pulpit mic,
Yeah.
they're like both pressing, the pulpit mic.
I turn it on or off, and then it comes back on, and I turn it off, and then it comes back on. I'm like, what in the world?
Man, I just do not know who that person
real.
was. Gonna have a conversation with that person.
For real.
Man, we gotta have a
Oh
conversation with
man,
that person.
yeah. That I'm gonna let him remain anonymous at this juncture.
You remain anonymous for right now. But yeah, so the bottom line is that I think communication is huge, right? If your performers are going to be having mics and they're going to be on stage, they need to be checked. If the sound engineer is going to be mixing, they need to check. They both need to be in sync together when it comes to mic checking. I have a note here. So sound techs are mixing for 300 people. Musicians are hearing one monitor, which I think is kind of an interesting point. Because it's true, right? I mean, you're on stage, and even though you're maybe broadcasting to a lot of people, you only really hear what's there. That monitor specifically. So that, I believe, brings us to our first sponsor, Shawn. Who do we have?
Yes. Now, this praise break is brought to you by Every.Black, a growing digital platform to build, connect entrepreneurs, businesses, and communities in one powerful space. Now, Every.Black highlights business owners, creators, and leaders who are building meaningful impact, from local enterprises to emerging brands that create opportunities for visibility, collaboration, and economic connection, helping businesses grow while strengthening community ties. Discover more and get connected at Every.Black. All right. So connecting businesses, culture, and community.
Yes, Every.Black was great. We're going to talk a little bit more about them in Ali Encore. Did a great engagement with them. I will share it for everybody. But that will bring us to our first praise break, and that's on me. We'll do our French, and then Shawn will get us with that DJ voice. So, elle vient de la République oh, goodness. I got to practice my... Okay, hold on. Elle vient de la République démocratique du Congo. Voici Dena Mwana. Cette chanson est en lingala et en français. Le message est fort. Avec Dieu au son lui. Pour elle, c'est clair. Jamais sans lui. Dans les bons moments, dans les moments difficiles, jamais sans lui. Que cette chanson touche ton cœur. C'est ton praise break, jamais sans lui.
All right. Okay.
I gotta practice.
All right, family. This praise break carries global worship energy all the way from the Dominican Republic of Congo. Comes international gospel powerhouse Dena Mwana, rooted in African gospel expression and song in Lingala, French. Now, this is a bold declaration. No matter the season, no matter the valley, we do not move without God, without our Lord and Savior. Not in a struggle, not in a success, never without Him. Let this be one stretch across borders that build your faith wherever you are.
Perdu, j'étais désespéré, moi je marchais. Mes rêves brisés, ma joie volée, sans voix j'y vais. Ton amour et ta grâce m'ont trouvé. Tu m'as donné des raisons de te louer. Kimye sengweli kana zwina yo. Papota ya motema yo kausi. Kimye sengweli kana zwina yo. Ope singa sujet ya kokuni sayo.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, Dena Mwana. Yeah, I'm sorry, I messed up her name. Je suis désolé pour ça, vraiment. Je vais pratiquer votre nom la prochaine fois. But that was never without him, in English translation.
Okay.
So, good. Start the year off with a little bit of a bounce, I guess. You know, nice colors.
Absolutely.
Good video. Did you like it?
Absolutely.
Okay, there you go. Well, Missy. All right, man. So we're still here at sound check versus mic. Oh, I'm sorry, sound test versus mic check. So now I kind of want to shift a little bit to, all right, we talked about maybe the performers and the sound engineer, right? But let's kind of move it toward what the people in the actual sanctuary are hearing, right?
Yes.
Because, I mean, all right, we got, so there's three elements, right? You got the performers, you got the sound engineer, and then you got the people who are actually hearing what's happening. So
I guess we can call that the pew experience.
the pew experience.
Yes.
Okay, the pew experience. So if you're sitting in the pew and you're hearing sounds, I mean, ideally you want it to sound clear.
Yes.
You want to hear what the preacher's saying or what the worship leader is singing or whoever, if there's a praise team, you want to be able to hear it. And if it's like a muddy sound, you're going to be turned off, I'm assuming.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. And there's also another point that I ran into this about 3 years ago. I will never forget it. I was DJing at a place that maybe held 150, 200 people. And wonderful older lady was sitting next to the speaker, Terminator.
I know about those things. It's too loud.
Baby, that's too loud. Baby, can you turn it down? You know,
Most
and
of
I
the
think-
time, those folks, it's always too loud. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but and I'm sitting there, I'm like, Grandma, you know, I'm so happy that you're here. But you're sitting next to the speaker. If I turn it down, the people over there aren't gonna hear it. So, Grandma, you know, this was not assigned seating. Why did you choose the seat next to the speaker?
I don't have an answer for that, why she sat there. But, I mean, maybe she couldn't hear. Maybe she has hearing problems and she thought, but then I guess she says, I don't know. I mean, how do we control or structure the people sitting down? Because it's pretty much open seating wherever you go, right?
Yeah. Now, one thing I will say is that, you know, I really like the setup of our speakers at Southside. I think we have a very balanced sound. You know, when every now and then I'll come out of the media room and walk around while people are there, because once again, it's a different sound when the sanctuary is full versus when it's empty. Sound carries a lot more when there's few people or no people there. So the only way to really get a feel for how it sounds when the sanctuary is full is to go out there when the sanctuary is full.
Yeah.
But I really feel like we have a balanced sound. You know, the speakers, the way they're mounted, the way they're angled, everything.
It all matters. So I have a question, because I see this a lot, and I hear what you're saying, and I do see some people out there checking the sound. But like Terminator, when you're DJing, what's the point of the headphones if you're there with everybody else in the crowd? I mean, how does that? And again, I'm not a sound person, so.
Okay, so that's a whole nother topic. So
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
I won't go off topic too
Well,
much.
yeah, and I'll just briefly say that, and most of the time when we're as DJs, when we're listening to something, we're queuing up the next song, or
Yeah.
finding a way to bring the next record in. How are we going to mix this record in? So
Okay.
the headphones aren't really monitoring the sound that's coming through the speaker.
Okay, so that's not really
That's really not the priority.
right. Okay, at least of this.
for us.
Yeah. All right. So then moving on. So do you think live streaming exposes like weak audio when it comes to, okay, we're in service, they're praising well, they're praising, but the audio is, because again, we have, we call it the cyber sanctuary here at Southside, right? The audio that's going through the stream in the cyber sanctuary, when it reaches somebody's television or their Roku or their streaming software, whatever it is, like, how do you think that affects people also listening?
Do you want to take this one first?
Yeah, I'll start so that's something I haven't done it lately. But what I like to do is, because for whatever reason, like I do the stream sound, and it'll sound fine when I'm monitoring it. But then I go home back, I listen to the playback, and I'm like, wow, the lead is much too high. I can't hear the praise team. So what I typically do is go home and listen to it. And I make mental notes, and I try to when the next service comes, I'll adjust it. I'll turn the lead down and bring the praise team up. So it's a better balance because, I don't know what part of the system makes it sound different at your home, but something along the line it changes the sound. So I try to listen back to it and adjust it and I need to continue to do it. I haven't done it in a while, but I need to start back listening to the replays. But yeah, that's a whole different sound when you're listening from home.
Yeah.
Even if you have I have a surround system connected to my TV. I'm like, that's why I really know, this is not sounding right. I need to adjust this. But, it's hard to tell when you're there listening, in the video room. It sounds fine, but then, like I said, when you go home, it's like, oh, yeah, the lead is too high, such and so forth.
Well,
But yeah, it can have a big effect on the listening experience at home. Absolutely.
I think it can.
It definitely can, but one thing that I must commend Southside on a whole and you in particular, our leader, our fearless leader, is the attention that we put and we give to the stream and we give to the entire cyber sanctuary experience. That's not like, okay, well, all right, just had it hook up something so the feed will go out. No, you have things in place so that we can do the fine tuning. So it's not like, we've all been in situations where, somebody, powers that be will just say, well, hey, it's just like that. That's how it is. The fact that, Steve, you're like, okay, that's something that we need to fix. That's something we need to look into. That's something we need to tweak. What can we do? Yeah. Asking those questions and following up.
Well, yeah, I mean, I thank you for the shout out, Shawn, but we have somebody else on the team who has an ear for these types of things, and they usually approach me when things don't sound right. So the question I have is, when you have a performer or a musician or somebody coming up to you as a sound engineer saying, hey, this doesn't sound right, but in your experience and what you've been doing, you say, no, this is right. Like, it's right on the mixer, but the performer saying it's not right in my ear. Like, who's right? Like, and that's just, it can be a rhetorical question, or if you want to put yourself out there.
Oh, no, that's when we send them to you.
No, they don't want to do that. Well, I mean.
Once again, you just show up to the sound check.
Yeah, for real. Show up at sound check.
Soundtrack could probably eliminate so many things. I guess I'm all about soundtracks and making sure things work. Like, even before we do these shows, we do our own soundtrack.
Absolutely.
And Terminator came in, he found 6 things that I completely just overlooked. Right? So you always want to show up the soundtrack. You always want to verify things are working. But I guess when it comes to like the online streaming and what people hear, I think I was at a conference in Atlanta where I was at, and they were talking about something like this. And the presenter said, to get your baseline of what it should sound like, get a phone and don't hook anything up to it, just the phone speakers. Because those phone speakers, they're really not designed to give you surround or, in depth. It's designed to be a telephone call, really. So if you got, a lot of, if you got instruments or if you got heavy harmony or a cappella, whatever it is, how it sounds on your phone at least is your baseline for how it should sound anywhere else. Because it's only going to sound like, it's not going to get no worse than that phone. Not saying your phone is any bad, but I'm just saying, like, the speakers aren't designed to do what a surround system or speakers or a television or something like that is designed to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, we do that in the recording studio as well. We have larger speakers, and then we'll have typically like really small speakers that are supposed to, like, if you just have a little radio at home, it's kind of give you that perspective of what it sounds like. Okay. So yeah, but that makes sense.
All right, see, I'm picking up some good stuff here, man. Yeah. So with that, I think we are on to our second sponsor, Shawn. Who do we got?
Lee Motor Group. Yeah. Our next praise break is brought to you by Elite Motor Group, proudly doing business the right way since 1953. Based in Wilson, North Kakalaki. Yeah, what started as a small-town Ford dealership has grown into a well-respected multi-brand automotive group serving communities across multiple states with a strong commitment to customer service, integrity, and community investment. They continue building on a legacy of trust spanning over 70 years. Learn more at leemotorgroup.com. Lee Motor Group. Experience the difference doing business the right way.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about Lee Motor Group also in Ali Encore because I had a great interaction with them. So
Great.
I'm going to give them a little bit more of a shout out. All right, man. So that is our next praise break, Shawn.
Yes. All right, family, hear me now. Not every testimony starts on the mountaintop. Some of them are born in the valley. Pressure, doubt, and stretching seasons. But that's where faith gets forged. Coming out of Texas, Close Your Eyes brings unapologetic intensity, heavy sound, and honest lyrics. A reminder that God is just as present in low places as he is in the victory lap. So, if you've been walking through something, don't tap out. Turn it up. This is your Praise Break Valleys.
Everything that I start to build crumbles.
All right. That was different. Truly. A metal sound, intense metal sound, Valleys.
Yeah. So I actually heard them when I was living in Columbus a while ago, and it just came up, and I was like, oh, I should put this. We should, try and get them on the podcast. It's definitely a different, I guess, vibe. Maybe is the word, or what's the? It's different than what we have put in the past, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, a lot of pianos, a lot of Jesus, wonderful, and I'm not. I'm not throwing shade on that, but I think it's important to also recognize people who praise Jesus differently. I mean, when it comes on like, what?
Yeah, for real.
But that's why we have the subtitles too, so you can kind of see what they're singing about.
Exactly.
Right? So I just think that was, a good change. Again, nothing wrong with the pianos and the harmony and the slowness, but it's nice to have a little bit of spice sometimes too. Like, wait a minute.
Absolutely. And
yeah.
Close your eyes, my Valleys. So, and it's interesting because I used to work for Radio 1, and I remember one of the stations at the cluster that I worked at. It's currently the Light 103.9. I remember when it was a jazz station, then a smooth jazz station, then they switched it to a FM gospel station, which it currently is. And I remember when gospel rap first became popular, and how the station received some flack for playing gospel rap.
Well, I mean, we're anything praising. Submit your music.
Exactly.
Anybody wants to submit your music, please submit your music. Go to the website techdisciples.org. We would love to put you on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Yeah, I remember when Kirk Franklin kind of first came on the scene. He got a lot of flack. People saying a lot of things. But I think it's good to have diversity.
Absolutely.
Because
yes.
you need to attract the younger folks.
That's right.
And sometimes that's what it takes. And I think that's the main thing that counts.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Spreading the word.
Yeah. And if they want to
spreading the gospel.
If they're gonna spread it and, singing like that. I mean, the song, I had to listen to it a couple of times, but it got to me. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see why he's doing this. So anyway, thank you to Dena and Close Your Eyes for letting us have them on the podcast as our praise breaks for this episode. So, Terminator, you can go ahead and cue our transition music to Ali Encore. We have a couple updates, some things to talk about, and as always, we got some clips when it comes to sound test versus mic check. You like the clip? I love the clips. I love clips.
I thought it was hilarious.
So,
well, I'm sorry. I don't want to give too much of a clue. As to what it pertains to.
Who's pressing buttons?
Exactly. Whose buttons are being pressed.
So, and we also have I'm going to introduce a new little segment, I think, that we'll all like. Terminator kind of enjoyed it already, so we're going to talk about that. So, coming right up, Ali on Call.
All right.
All right, we're back. Ali on Call. All right, guys. So I want to introduce something to you fine gentlemen here. Me and the fellas back in Buffalo, we always used to play video games and stuff like that. And whenever somebody tried to do something and it didn't land quite right, we just called it foot sweeps. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little example of how Foot Sweeps works here, and then we're gonna play our little jingle, and we're gonna try and incorporate this, see how it is. So now I don't know if you know this, but I'm actually a DJ too. Okay. Wait. I'm a DJ. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you. No, it's all good. I'm actually a DJ. Back in the day, I used to spin on my Soretto 1200s. Okay?
On a Soretto.
The Soretto.
A Soretto. Terminator, you hear that? A Soretto.
So, and that's all right. And also, I mean, I recently I got some of the new devices, and I had to reboot my turntable to ensure that the BPMs would update. This, So that's what Foot Sweeps is. When somebody tries to land something, it's like, no, you don't know what you're talking about.
For real, okay.
You have confidence although I was laughing. You have confidence without our competence. You have confidence without competence. So I'm just trying to bring little something like in, because radios and stuff, they have like your little horns and stuff. So that's going to be our Foot Sweep thing.
Okay.
So
I like it.
you like it? Yeah. It's a nice little din 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 din. All right. So we got background music, Terminator. I don't know if we did or not. No? All right. That's cool. No worries. So we're going to revisit some things, and we're going to go back to one of our sponsors, which is Every.Black. Now, I was actually invited to do a talk with Every.Black, and yep, it's on the source number EB1, and it was great. It was an entrepreneur thing with businesses coming together, networking, talking, and really just kind of giving ideas. And I was invited by Davies there, who's the top left corner, and he said, "Come on." I was like, "Hey, man, I'd love to." And they're actually having another event. I think it's the February, Terminator, can you see that? It's hard from this monitor here. February 21st, they're having another virtual, it's a free event. Anybody who's an entrepreneur is encouraged to come. I will be there on the panel, along with those fine folks there, to discuss wonderful and enlightening techniques to increase your technology, specifically AI, with everything happening right now. So please check that out and go to that website to register. It is free and it is virtual. So my talk, you can put the next one up, Terminator. So this was the talk I did, staying current with technology as an entrepreneur. This was the talk I did this was last week. It was a great group. I think my presentation went really well. You know how I talk. I don't mean to be crass, but kind of a no-nonsense type of personality, trying to tell
delivery
people.
there. Yeah.
Delivery can be a little sharp sometimes, but you need to. So it was a great session, and we got a picture with everybody. I think we got it up there. So this is everybody, and again, it was on Zoom. Now, of course, I had to take two photos because a lot of times in Zoom, when it fills up, you can't get everybody. So I had to do two shots. So there might be some duplicates there, but it was a very good group. I believe everybody got information out of my session, and I want to thank them all for attending. So yeah, definitely go to Every.Black to check out the next virtual session, and you'll see me, see other people, connect, network, and have a great time. All right, so now you guys know I'm a driver, and I happen to be I'm not a car guy, but I like Mazda. Okay. So this brings us back to Lee. All right. So go ahead and put up I have a vehicle. This is my car. This is my car as it stands right now. That's my car. It's a 2010 Mazda 3. All right. I love this car, and I put work into it, but it's a great car. How many miles do you think are on this car?
Now you've had it since what, 2010?
2010, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's no wrong answer.
I'm gonna give you 150.
All right, fine. All right, that's good.
I'm gonna give you 150.
150 and 250. All right, let's go ahead and take that one off. Terminator, put up the next one.
What is it?
Yeah. He said, what is it? That's 345,000.
Oh my goodness.
367 miles are on that car. And I was talking with my mom, and she's like, it's time for a new car. So this year I got a new job, so I'm very excited about that. And I drive a lot. So my mom, talking to her on the phone, she's like, you need a new car? You need a new car? I'm like, all right, let me look. So I go to one of the car sites, and I look, and I find this car. And I'm like, wait a minute, this can't be right. This can't be right.
That's
like,
the Mazda 3.
It is the Mazda 3, the 2025 edition. I'm like, wait, what? This can't be right. So, on the website, it's like, contact us to learn more about it. I'm like, I don't believe this. Let me just go fill it out. I fill it out. Not even like 10 minutes later, I get a call from the dealership, and I was straight with them. Like, hey, is this real? Like, this car looks too nice. It's also a manual. I drive manual.
Yes.
I love manual, and it's the right color. It was manual. I'm like, wait a minute. And then the miles on it were out. They were low. It was under, I think, it was under 10,000 miles.
Wow.
Right. I'm like, this can't be right. But you're like, come on down. So this brings us to Lee. And long story short, go ahead and put the next photo up. I went and got it. I was like, this is it. Yeah, man. That's Lou. Lou was at the dealership of Lee. I think she's Lee 4. Yeah, get a clap. There you go. Shout out.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give it.
Lou,
Yeah. Lou was great. So I got the car, and when I got there, every clutch is different. So when you get into a car, I'm going off of my clutch of the 350,000 mile car, and instantly pop it. Like, Lou looks at me so fast, bloop, and she didn't say anything, but her eyes said, "You know how to drive?" And then she's like, "I have 2 rules. One, don't kill me, and the second one is remember the first rule." So so we drive around. I'm like, yeah, this is good. I meet Jake, who is the funniest guy of all time, and he was just straight up with me. He's like, hey man, here it is, and you try and work a little bit. He's like, thank you, but no thank you. I'm like, this guy knows about business. So took a day, came back and got the vehicle, and I think the next photo is so that's how many miles are on the car, the new one right now. And I got it at, I think, 70 or 97.6, something like that. 9,760 miles. Wow. So it was definitely a huge, how everything came together. God was looking out for me because I do drive a lot, right?
Yeah,
I drive a lot.
Wow.
So
that's great, man.
Yeah.
Well, Terminator. Yes, sir. Have you been for Terminator?
Yes, sir.
Have you been for a ride in the new whip yet?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Okay, we have a problem.
It is a nice
We have a problem.
tell you what, go on down to Lee and Lou will take care of you. Right? Lou, Jake, Molly.
Well, you talking okay? But see, you see how he just
bro. I don't have it out right now. I got the OG original out there.
Okay.
But no, I got that, and very thankful to Lee and them. So definitely check them out. They're in Wilson. Thank you for the opportunity to get that vehicle. And our last point here is we, gentlemen, have our first premium supporter.
Ooh, okay.
Theodosia Graham happens to be my grandmother. She listens, she tunes in, she likes the show, and she has supported us,
That's wonderful.
So do we have a hand clap for that one?
For real.
We should have a hand clap for that one. I think yes. Thank you, Graham.
Thanks, Grandma.
Thanks, Graham. Yeah.
When you gonna come to Southside?
Yeah, I'm still trying to get her to come down. Actually.
Yeah, I'm seriously.
Yeah, she's trying to get. She's in Michigan right now with some family stuff, but we're trying to get her down here. So, all right. So that's the updates I get to share a little bit. And then listen, and Shawn and Terminator, if you all have anything you want to share, feel free to bring it in. We'll queue it up and then put it out. Okay. Shawn's looking at me like, okay.
No, okay.
All right. So now we're gonna move on to our clips here. All right. We're gonna talk about it without fighting. And actually, before we go to any of our clips, do either of you gentlemen have a story you like to share in your dealings with sound tests versus mic checks?
We
Any stories that you can maybe clean up?
to protect the innocent. No, it just for us, it's not rare for someone to come to the back and like, well, hey, can you turn my? And it's always up. It's never, hey, my mic is too hot. No, it's never that.
It's never that. They always want to go higher.
Yeah, they always want to go higher.
And what do you think the reason of that? Like, why? I mean, it could be a plethora of reasons. I don't know.
Yeah, and I just I'm like, all right,
Okay.
all right.
Terminator, do you have anything?
Yeah, come to the sound check.
It's going to be a tagline for this episode.
For real, yeah.
Tagline for this episode, come to the soundtrack. All right, well, we have a clip of life of a sound engineer, so we're going to go ahead and roll it, and then we'll have our reflection afterward.
Wow.
There's a whole lot to
Yeah, for real. I mean,
unpack there. I'm just saying.
we don't have enough time to go into that one.
Maybe
But
60 seconds, how about that? I'm gonna do that.
well, the first things first. The sound engineer needs to know how to control the basics of the board.
I mean, looks
for
like
real.
she was
And,
controlling it a little bit.
No, she's sitting there, grabbing her hair, But really, but Terminator, how could all of that have been avoided?
Truthfully, it needs somebody else singing.
So, but that's a good point, though, right?
Yeah.
That's a good point. Like,
That's a
all,
good point.
all this
But they
technology.
would have found out how bad of a singer my man is if they would have what?
Huh?
They would have found out how bad of a singer my man was if they would have what?
Went to the sound check.
Soundtrack. You got it.
There we
You
go.
got it.
There we go.
But I mean, that clip was a good point. What you said, right? I think. No switches. But that's a good point, though, because even with all the technology, all the mixers, all the monitors, all the speakers, whatever else is in audio land, if you have all that great stuff. If you don't know how to, sing, you're gonna run into some problem. I mean, there's nothing that technology can do. Even autotune can't save.
Well,
save
here's
you.
the thing. I'll never forget. I was working with a gentleman at K97.5, and he had an instructor, and the instructor's name was Freeman. And he said, one thing that Freeman preaches, says religiously, garbage in is going to be garbage out.
Okay.
If it's garbage going in, there's nothing we can do to make it not sound like garbage when it comes out the speakers.
Okay. Do you think that last clip? Do you think
That was garbage in the filtration system, and then garbage coming out the speakers.
Well, okay. I mean, maybe. Well, all right. I'm not a sound person, so I don't know. But it does show that you need to know how to sing. And even if you know how to sing, you still need to know how to adequately position your microphone, right? If you sing different frequencies, is that a true statement?
Well, okay, now Steve wants to be a joker now, right?
Oh,
and play devil's advocate. So this is what we're gonna do, Norm.
What are we gonna do?
What we're gonna do
getting
is on
pussies ready.
Sunday, right? I'm gonna go grab a mic. And I'm going to sound like that guy was sounding. And let's see what Steve does. What do you think he'll do? What do you think he'll do?
All right. So, all right. I believe in staying in your lane. I'm going to make sure the technology is on and it's available. I mean, again, I don't know, but some people may not know. That last clip, I mean, obviously it was a gag. She was kind of playing around with bad sound. But I think the bigger picture is, people need to know how to sing. And it might be painful if somebody says, hey, listen, I know you think you know how to sing, but
Yeah, this
may not, or
this
maybe
cake ain't gonna bake, baby.
it's not going to bake. All right. So that was our first clip. So we're going to go on to our second clip here, which is struggles of a sound engineer. Let's see what
I can attest for sure to that.
You can attest to that? Because
You got some people, they're going to hold the mic too far away or stand too far back, and they're going to talk like this. And the next
Yeah,
person's
for
going to
real.
be all up in the mic like this.
and you find that out in sound check, and they. But yeah, we see it all the time, especially with the cordless microphones. People who want to talk but have the cordless down here.
okay.
You must project through any microphone, corded, cordless. Project through the microphone. Have it down here, and then of course, if we raise the volume, what do you think it's going to do? Feedback.
Oh, feedback. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which okay. Well, what was that he did? What was that noise? Was it just?
It was just extremely loud. Like if
Yeah.
I get up on the mic, like,
Yeah, muffled. And one thing too, as sound engineers, that we need to do is make sure when we adjust, we do it slowly. Back it down slowly.
Correct.
Go up slowly. Don't my mic's too low and just pot it up. No,
No, don't do that.
no.
That's no
You
good.
know, gradual bring down, gradual raise.
Okay. All right. Listen, man, this is all good stuff. Because again, I don't know. This is why we have this podcast to educate people, because they may not know and they may be just doing what somebody told them to do or saw a YouTube video.
Exactly.
And say, "Oh, I can do that," but there's really a lot more pieces to the puzzle, right? There's your performers, there's your sound engineers, there's the building that it's in.
Yeah, the acoustics in the room.
Yeah, this all this stuff matters when it comes to sound test versus mic check. So there is no real clear winner, I don't think, aside from going to your sound check, going to your your rehearsals. It's not a one-time fix or a do this. It's more of like just, I guess, coming together and communicating, hey, this is what we're going to do. But that takes time, and people like showing up late. Some people don't think they need to be there, and that can get very frustrating for other performers who are there for the sound check and the sound engineer who's there.
I got another little 2 cents about the monitoring side. Like when you're doing larger shows, typically you'll have actually another sound guy doing the stage monitoring. Like he literally is set up on the side of the stage so he can hear what's going on.
Exactly.
And if you're on the stage, you can just look at him and like
Yeah.
throw a thumbs up, turn me up a little bit, that kind of thing. But if you don't have that, like we don't have a stage monitor guy, obviously, but that's something that factors in as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, when churches are trying to get that nice, crisp sound, they need to understand that it's not just one person behind the booth, or it's not just one person on the stage. It's a team of people,
Yes.
right? It's a team of people,
A cohesive team.
right? Because if they don't like each other, they're gonna, I don't want to say they were to sabotage you, but it may not go as smoothly as you want it to go. So, I don't know, man. I think. Oh, let's see. I had a note here. I want to invite listeners to get your worship teams, your sound check people, and your pastors all in the same room and have conversations. Because when people get upset when sound doesn't work, everybody thinks that their part is right. Right? It's not about choosing sides. It's about remembering we're all serving the same moment. So, Terminator, man, you can go ahead and start our credit roll music because I think we're about to get out of here.
Okay. You gonna take us home, Steve?
I'm going to try to, if I can find where my last note is. Where's our last note?
I see it at the bottom of page 10.
Not about choosing sides. I said that already. Talk about it before it becomes tension.
Yeah.
Normal Ohio.
What should
Yeah.
they do if they want to submit music?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, I know what they need to do to submit music. But, yes, remember to like, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and other social media platforms. Remember our podcast platforms, Apple, Amazon, Spotify. And if you want to see our visuals and laugh at us laughing at each other, come to our YouTube channel. Search Tech Disciples. If you have music or want to become a sponsor or a partner, visit the podcast website at techdisciples.org. All one word, techdisciples.org. I'm looking for that last note because it was really, really good. Oh, here it is. I found it. When nobody defines success, everybody assumes they're right. See, that was good to
Clarification.
yeah. All right. So with that, until the next time, I am Stephen D. Holder.
I am DJ Shawn Alexander.
Nah, I'm Terminator X.
Oh,
Show up for sound check.
take us to credits, man. We are done.